Hi, my name is Ava, and this is the story of how my relationship with my mother-in-law, Sophia, slowly turned into a nightmare I never saw coming. From the very beginning, Sophia made it clear that she didn't approve of me. She was the kind of woman who believed things were only done the right way if they were done her way. She had strong, old-fashioned opinions about marriage, motherhood, and family roles, and I never seemed to fit into her picture of the perfect daughter-in-law. No matter how hard I tried, I always felt like I was being judged, how I dressed, how I spoke, how I raised my child. For the first few years of my marriage, William and I lived far away from his parents. That distance was a blessing I didn't fully appreciate at the time. Phone calls were short, visits were rare, and Sophia's sharp comments stayed at a safe distance. I could tolerate her behavior from afar. I had grown up learning how to survive around difficult people. My own parents were cold and emotionally distant, so I'd learned how to stay quiet, keep the peace, and not let words hurt me too deeply. Everything changed when William was offered a job closer to his hometown. The opportunity was too good to turn down, so we moved back. Suddenly, Sophia wasn't just a voice on the phone. She was a constant presence in our lives, dropping by unannounced, offering help that felt more like criticism, and questioning every decision I made as a mother. The only reason I held myself together was because of two people: Benjamin, William's father, and our daughter, Luna. Benjamin was kind in a quiet, steady way. He never raised his voice or interfered, but whenever Sophia crossed a line, he'd give me a gentle look or step in with a calm comment that softened the situation. He treated me with respect, and for that, I was grateful. Luna was 9 years old then, bright, loving, and deeply attached to her grandparents. They were the only grandparents she truly knew. Since I had cut contact with my own parents long ago, Luna adored them, especially her grandfather, and even Sophia had moments where she appeared warm and affectionate with her. Because of Luna, I swallowed my pride and my discomfort. I told myself that no matter how Sophia treated me, I could endure it for my daughter's sake. William believed strongly in family unity, and I knew asking him to cut his mother out of our lives would cause pain and conflict. Luna was happy when she visited them, and as long as she was safe, I tried to let things go. But Sophia had a way of turning every visit into a quiet battle. She constantly criticized Luna's diet. She claimed I was starving her, depriving her of important nutrients. According to Sophia, Luna needed nuts for protein and brain development. The problem was that Luna was severely allergic to nuts. Even the smell could make her dizzy and nauseous. We carried an epinephrine injector everywhere for a reason. I explained this to Sophia more times than I could count. She's not just picky, Sophia, I told her calmly one afternoon. Luna's allergic. The doctor confirmed it. Nuts could make her seriously sick. Sophia waved me off like I was being dramatic. Children grow out of allergies if you expose them early. She insisted. You're being overprotective. That's why kids are so weak these days. No, I said firmly. That's not how allergies work. We've spoken to specialists. Her meals are balanced. Skipping nuts won't hurt her, but eating them could. Instead of listening, Sophia accused me of being a careless and controlling mother. She said I was holding Luna back, that I didn't know what I was doing, and that she had raised children just fine without doctors telling her what to do. What terrified me most was that Sophia didn't just argue, she tried to act. More than once, Luna told me her grandmother offered her snacks she wasn't allowed to eat. Thankfully, Luna understood her allergy well and always refused. Still, the fear sat heavy in my chest. I started to dread leaving Luna alone with Sophia. One evening, I finally spoke to William. I'm scared, I admitted. Your mom doesn't take Luna's allergy seriously. What if she gives her something harmful, thinking she knows better? William sighed, trying to sound reassuring. Ava, my mom has old ideas, yes, but she wouldn't cross a line like that. Dad is always there too. Luna loves them. We can't just take that away from her. But she keeps ignoring medical advice. I pressed. I can't keep worrying every time Luna is with them. I'll talk to her. William promised. She'll listen to me. I wanted to believe him, and because Luna was happy, I pushed my fear aside. That was my mistake. Everything fell apart at Luna's 11th birthday party. Sophia and Benjamin arrived early. which immediately made me uneasy. Sophia usually avoided being alone with me, yet that day she was overly cheerful. She carried a large, heavy gift wrapped in bright birthday paper. "Happy birthday, Luna," she said loudly. "Grandma got you something very special." Luna's eyes lit up. The package was huge, and she was bursting with excitement. Sophia insisted that Luna open her gift before the cake, before the other presents, before anything else. Something about her urgency made my stomach twist, but I didn't want to upset Luna on her special day. Against my better judgment, I agreed. When Luna opened the box, she found a beautiful cake with her name written in frosting. She smiled, just for a second. Then she collapsed. Panic exploded through the room. Her breathing became strained, her throat began to swell, and her lips turned blue. William ran for the epinephrine while someone else called for help. I knew instantly what had happened. I turned to Sophia, shaking with rage and terror. "What did you put in that cake?" She denied everything, blaming me instead. But when I cut the cake open, the truth was undeniable, nuts baked right into it. Luna nearly died because Sophia believed she knew better than doctors, better than parents, better than common sense. By the time the ambulance arrived, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely stand. Luna survived, but that day changed everything. And as I sat in the hospital, watching my daughter lie unconscious, I realized something painfully clear. Some people don't just ignore boundaries. They destroy them. Once I had finally calmed down, I found myself clinging to William, letting the steady warmth of his arms ground me. My hands were still trembling, my heart still racing from everything that had happened. When I felt strong enough, I picked up my phone and called Benjamin to let him know that Luna was stable and no longer in immediate danger. My voice cracked as I spoke, but hearing Benjamin's relieved sigh on the other end brought a small sense of comfort. After I hung up, the weight of everything crashed down on me again. I turned to William, anger and pain flooding back all at once. "I will never forgive Sophia for what she did today," I said, my voice shaking with fury. "She could have killed our daughter. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't ignorance. She knew exactly what she was doing." William lowered his head, his face pale and stricken. When he finally spoke, his voice was thick with guilt. "I can't believe it either," he admitted. "If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe my own mother was capable of this. She didn't do this for Luna. She did it to make you look like a bad mother. She cared more about being right than about Luna's life." His hands clenched into fists. "She pretended to care about Luna's happiness, but she never once thought about the danger. Even now, she's still claiming you planned everything. Today showed me how far she's willing to go just to hurt you." He looked at me, tears filling his eyes. "I'm so sorry, Ava. I should have protected you and Luna better. I failed as a husband. I failed as a father." Hearing that broke something inside me, but it also made one thing painfully clear. This situation had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Benjamin, who had always been a gentle and loving grandfather, was deeply shaken as well. Sophia's actions had finally gone too far. This wasn't another argument, another insult, or another boundary pushed. This time, a child's life had been endangered. Right then and there, we made a decision. Sophia could never be allowed to hurt Luna again. Her behavior was no longer just toxic, it was dangerous. For Luna's safety and for our family's peace, Sophia was no longer welcome in our lives. It was a painful decision, but it was one we were fully prepared to stand by. After a long, emotional discussion, William and I decided to go back home while Luna remained under hospital care. Benjamin, Sophia, and a few remaining guests stayed behind, waiting for updates. The drive home felt heavy, tense, and surreal, but it gave us the chance we needed to confront the truth head-on. When we arrived home, nearly 4 hours after the incident, the scene in the living room said everything. Benjamin was standing near the couch, stern and exhausted, clearly in the middle of scolding Sophia. She sat there scrolling on her phone, completely detached, as if nothing serious had happened. The untouched birthday cake sat nearby, an ugly reminder of the chaos she had caused. When they noticed us, both Benjamin and Sophia stood up quickly. "I just received an update," I said calmly, forcing myself to stay composed. "Luna is in good hands. The doctors are optimistic. She's still unconscious, but they expect her to recover." Sophia let out a dramatic sigh of relief. "See? I told you she'd be fine. This whole thing was blown out of proportion. Her allergy will disappear soon anyway." That was it. William exploded. He unleashed every ounce of anger he had been holding back, confronting Sophia for her recklessness, her arrogance, and her refusal to take responsibility. Benjamin joined him, his disappointment cutting deeper than anger ever could. The guests who remained stared at Sophia in stunned silence, their faces filled with disbelief and disgust. I stepped forward, my voice cold and unwavering. "I've had enough. Sophia, you've crossed the final line. You put my daughter in the hospital and still refuse to show remorse. You will never be allowed near Luna again. You are banned from this house." Sophia scoffed. "You can't tell me what to do. My son won't cut me off just because you don't agree with me." "No, Mom," William said firmly. "I'm cutting you off because you endangered my child. Dad is welcome in our lives, but you are not. I won't let someone so heartless near my daughter ever again." Sophia looked around desperately, realizing no one was defending her, not even Benjamin. "This is all your fault," she screamed at me. "You turned everyone against me. I'll sue you for grandparents' rights. I'll take you to court." I didn't flinch. "Good luck asking a judge for visitation after committing a crime," I replied calmly. "We've already reported you." Her face drained of color just as the police arrived. Sophia collapsed into tears, begging us to stop it, but William remained unmoved. Benjamin, heartbreak etched into his face, refused to protect her any longer. "You endangered our granddaughter," he said quietly. "I warned you for years. I won't cover for you anymore." Sophia was arrested, still screaming and pleading as she was taken away. The next day, Benjamin filed for divorce. Luna woke up frightened but alive, and that was all that mattered. She cried when she spoke about Sophia, begging us never to let her near her again. We listened. Therapy became part of our healing, individual, family, and couples counseling. Slowly, we rebuilt trust, communication, and strength. With Benjamin's support, we began to heal. Sophia lost everything: her marriage, her reputation, her freedom. Friends and family cut her off completely. She faced prison time, restraining orders, and permanent separation from us. And as painful as it all was, one truth remained stronger than everything else. Our daughter was safe. And we would always protect her, no matter what.